Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons and Adam Sandler. So, Adam Sandler just won the Mark Twain Award, and this is a major award in America. And it's on my radar for one reason and one reason alone. I am an absolute huge fan of Dave Chappelle. I think, and he's really important. Dave Chappelle is important to Dungeons and Dragons because Dave Chappelle is doing exactly what I'm saying has already accomplished for comedy what I'm hoping for Dungeons and Dragons, right? Dave Chappelle doesn't use comedy to make people laugh. Dave Chappelle literally uses comedy to better society and to achieve human flourishment, right? He has achieved massive things by making laughter trivial within his comedy sets and really shifting to, he's like, yeah, you're gonna laugh. There's gonna be 10, 20 jokes in here. But the reality is, I'm a philosopher king, and I'm about to drop a ton of philosophy on you, and we're gonna talk about real things. And this is a comedy show, and I'm gonna change society with it. And he has massively already changed society. I don't know if you know this, but I took about, I think, a full year off from discussing D&D to support Andrew Yang, and Dave Chappelle came on and supported Andrew Yang after me. So I was first, he was second. It is huge, and Dave Chappelle won the comedy award. Now Adam Sandler just won it, right? So I had my board game night this last week, and it was Friday, and somebody in my board game night, I care about them. They're a great person, but they're like, we were talking about movies, and I was like, oh, murder mystery, right? And he's like, Adam Sandler, and I was like, yeah, Adam Sandler, and he's like, you like his movies? And I was like, yeah, I love his movies. Every movie he does, I watch. And he's like, are you kidding? Right? And I was like, no. And he's like, do you eat at McDonald's? And he said it like it was a joke, right? And I was like, yeah, I eat at McDonald's. And he's like, and his face just curled up, right? And this is where we get with D&D, right? They're like, oh, you don't play Blades in the Dark? You don't play the incredibly bespoke, Powered by the Apocalypse game? Oh, wait. You don't play Old School Essentials? You play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition? You grab a book off the shelf at Barnes and Nobles? How disgusting and common, right? And I'm here to tell you, and I cannot, if I had $1, right, for every time somebody's like, D&D is just McDonald's, right, I could buy a new house, right? And Adam Sandler's the same thing. Adam Sandler has $4 billion in movie sales, right? He has truly built an incredible career because he's an incredible artist, right? And people just waltz up and they insult him, and they're just like, how common and disgusting, right? And I'm here to tell you, Dungeons and Dragons is for the tabletop role-playing game commoner, right? It's not your bespoke Blades in the Dark. I love Blades in the Dark, but many of the people who play it, and this is no fault of John Harper's, he's very, but many of the people are just like, have their pinky twirled up as they're holding their teacup and just, side-eyeing, oh, you play that disgusting Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, right? And it's the difference between elite and common, right? And it's this whole thing where we're like, and the reality is, it's so shockingly ignorant, right? Because the reality is, McDonald's isn't just McDonald's, right? Every meal you have ever eaten in a restaurant was improved because of improvements that McDonald's did, right? McDonald's has raised food standards across the globe, right? Literally, diplomacy is tracked. There was a saying for a long time, and actually the saying, I think the saying is still true, right? Countries that have McDonald's don't go to war with each other. And within weeks of Russia going to war, we punished them by taking the Quarter Pounder from them. McDonald's food is so good, it is a global punishment to you for outrageous human villainy, right? That's how good McDonald's is, right? And the reality is, I still eat at McDonald's today, right? One of the reasons why, and you might not know this, right? But they have an incredible mobile order, and right now it is outrageously expensive to eat anywhere, right? And I'll often get a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's because they have outrageous deals where I'll get a breakfast sandwich and a coffee for as low as $2, right? No, and only McDonald's can do that, right? My family is struggling. There's real financial stress right now, right? You know, like, I'm so ashamed to say this, but I'm going to share it with you. My son is a baseball player. I went to buy him a baseball bat. It cost $400, right? Like, he doesn't have a baseball bat now, right? Like, and the fact that we can get, you know, just a breakfast sandwich and a coffee on a day when everybody's busy, it's a big deal. And McDonald's worked hard to get there, right? And I'm so sick of people insulting Adam Sandler, insulting McDonald's, insulting Dungeons & Dragons, and putting their little pinky up on the end of the, you know, as they hold their teacup, and just laughing at the commoners. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. Dungeons & Dragons is not able to do everything that other games are able to do because it maintains a place where 12-year-olds can play it, where 18-year-olds can play it, right? Where people who might not have the resources can play. There's a free version of Dungeons & Dragons, right? There's not a free version of every game, right? Like, it's just, and it is, I'm just so tired, right, of people, you know, saying, you know, Dungeons & Dragons is McDonald's. Dungeons & Dragons is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is a genius who just won the Mark Twain Award. McDonald's is incredibly valuable and has helped to uplift quality standards for food and commercial standards, saying we don't just make food for the wealthy. We're not some bespoke Soho artisanal pickle place in Soho, right? It's for people who don't have money, and it's for people who have money. And that's exactly the same with Dungeons & Dragons. And it's exactly the same with McDonald's. And it's exactly the same with Adam Sandler. And I'm tired of people coming and insulting something because it makes itself available to the commoners. It's wrong. It is horribly, horribly wrong. I'm going to take a moment. Thank you, Adam Sandler, for everything you've done for Little Nicky and for Uncut Gems. I saw them both in the theaters, right? And I'll be seeing every single one of your movies in the theater until they put me in a pine box or when it drops on Netflix, because I know you do those now too, right? You have been incredibly helpful to me. McDonald's, thank you for making, literally millions of people just get, families can go there, can go to your restaurant, sit down, and the whole family can get burgers, fries, and soda, and it doesn't break the bank, right? And you care about people being able to just access the basic good things in life, and I am incredibly thankful for that. Dungeons & Dragons, you guys have been making yourself accessible and making it show that as many people as possible can play Dungeons & Dragons. And making very clear choices not to make yourself appealing to the coastal elites, right? And make your game accessible. And I am incredibly thankful. Dungeons & Dragons, McDonald's, Adam Sandler, for the common people, for the good. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get into the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.